Secondly, he asked the question, what does two consenting adults having sex, what harm does it do? Well, you are very uninformed on what homosexuality is about. Homosexuality is not just about sex. And go and check all the jurisdictions where homosexuality have started. It's not just about consensual sex between two adults. It moves to the redefinition of what marriage is. It moves to what the curriculum of school kids becomes in accepting this perversion.
That's in the comprehensive sexuality.
Absolutely. It then moves from there to even affecting the livelihoods of sportsmen. The Tokyo Olympic Games. Female American sports athletes or female American athletes have been kicked off their slots by transgender men. That affects the economics of an individual. Now go to the United States, go to the European capitals where homosexuality has been made legal, and see how much of taxpayers' money, public money, is used to have healthcare facilities simply catering for the problems of the homosexual community. Because the health conditions of homosexuals is completely different from what we're talking about. The anal tears and the anal warts and all the kinds of medical complications they have. In this country, today, the Ghana AIDS Commission gets support in the region of almost, 200 million? Ghana cedis or $200 million from foreign donors, and a large chunk of that is going to curb the menace of HIV/AIDS. The section of our society that is pushing the prevalence of AIDS in Ghana is men having sex with men, homosexuals. So taxpayers' money or monies that could have been channeled to finding beds for our wives to give birth is being used to take care of buying antiretroviral drugs for people who are increasing the prevalence of HIV/AIDS because they're having homosexual sex. And you're asking me, what is the effect on the public? That's the effect on the public I'm showing to you. Look, this is not a morality bill. Heterosexuals do not go around saying that, and there are heterosexuals who have kinky sex and all kinds of things in their bedroom. They don't come around and legislate or advocate that we should accept their way of heterosexual sex. They keep it in the confines of their bedroom, and people respect their privacy. But when you want to take out what is supposed to be your private, intimate moment and determine that that must become our way of life, and determine that our kids must be taught that, and determine that there must be pressure on an already stretched healthcare facility in this country, we will not sit down quietly and watch it. And the argument that homosexuality has been with us from time immemorial,
but that's true, hasn't it?
I keep asking a question. Show me one traditional council that has accepted homosexuality as a part of us. From time immemorial, individuals who show those tendencies have been seen as pariahs. Our traditions and customs have not associated with them. And someone sent me a fantastic text message. Armed robbery was not an import from the West. So why have we not said that because it didn't come from the West, let's allow it and let's accept it? It was not an import from the West. We have it here, but we have laws that fight against it. So whether it is an import from the West or not is neither here nor there. That's a very moot point. The point is that society accepts it. Is it comfortable for us? Yes, he said 50 years ago, 60 years ago in the United States. In fact, it was in 1952 that homosexuality was moved out from being a medical condition. Until 1952, it was a medical condition in the United States. Until 30 years ago, the WHO, the World Health Organization, viewed homosexuality as a medical condition, a mental health condition. It saw it as schizophrenia and pedophilia and necrophilia.
In 1952, science has evolved.
Well,
that has changed.
That's not true.
Why are we not moving with that time?
Hold it. That is the myth and misconception the LGBTQ community pushes out.
But science has changed.
It's not true. In 1952, the decision by the United States government to move homosexuality away from being treated like the way schizophrenia and Alzheimer's disease and necrophilia and pedophilia were treated, and bestiality, was a political decision. It was not a decision based on vote of scientists. It was not based on any scientific finding. It was a vote of politicians who had been lobbied by the LGBTQ lobby. The same thing happened with the World Health Organization. No science backs the move. In fact, the biggest investigative work into the human genome is a human genome project. Okay, that's the biggest development, and the LGBT community have sponsored over 20 researchers into the human genome system, and they have not been able to identify a homosexual gene. We've been able to identify genes that make people obese, genes that make people angry. We are able to trace and sequence all of these genes and identify what will make somebody a sanguine and choleric All of these minute details, even making you prone to cancer and specific kinds of cancer, have been traced to a gene. All of these detailed studies have not been able to identify a homosexual gene. So when they tell you that it's a science, I dare and challenge them to show you the science. One science.
Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and click on that bell icon and get notified every time we share something new. You know we always share something new. Stay consistent.